We have a quick one today. I'm just going to do a quick talk on terminal tackle. A few guys have asked me basically what terminal tackle I use. In other words, leaders, hooks, that sort of stuff. What's the main gear I use? So what I was going to do is just give you a quick rundown of some of the main gear or brands I use, okay, to catch a large variety of species. So we'll start off, we'll get right into it. Start off with the old bait jigs. People always want to know what sort of bait jigs you run. I run 3 different ones. So I've got 2. They're Wilson and Wasabi. Both very good bait jigs. And we've got the old Signature. These are a cheap one you can find around, but they also work very well. But if I had to choose out of the 3, like I'll use all 3, but my favourite one is always Wasabi. Once again, guys, gold hooks. Gold hook seems to outfish silver hooks. I don't know why, but it does. Okay, so they're my 3 bait jigs, but I mainly use the Wasabi, but the other 2 I'll use if I run out of Wasabi or I can't find them. Next question I get asked a lot is what type of wire do I use when I'm running baits or lures or this and that. So I've got a couple of wires here. First of all, I've got a good 49 strand, nice soft 49 strand. I use 49 strand when I'm obviously rigging up marlin hooks and stuff for skirted lures. But when I'm rigging baits, especially live baits and swimming baits, I use a nice soft 49 strand. This is 150 pound, it's too thin, but you can get it down to 40 pound. I have got 40 pound somewhere in a multi-strand, a really thin, light, tieable 49 strand wire. And I'll run this wire when I'm bait fishing, trawling live baits and dead baits, okay? I will put 150 on bigger lures if I want to go at high speed trawling for wahoo. I'll put the 150 on because it's very rare in a wahoo to go through 150. It does happen on rare occasions, but most of the time they don't get through 150. And it's a good wire when you're trawling big hard bodies and stuff, high speed. So I would prefer this stuff when I'm chasing wahoo at high speed. 49 strand soft. But when I'm slow trawling or trawling around 6-7 nights, say chasing mackerel, running hard bodies, I just use a single strand. Just a piano wire, just a good old single strand. This stuff's really handy to have on a boat. You can put it on any sort of rig, any sort of lure really quick. All you need to do is just tie a haywire twist, which Halco, has got diagram in the back where you twist it. It's very quick, it's very easy. You just need a decent pair of pliers to cut it, or you can do the old, bend backwards and forwards a couple of times, it'll snap off. So this stuff's very good. With a 49 strand, you need crimps. And if you take it out in the boat, you'll need your crimping pliers and everything else. So that stuff I'll work with at home. And this stuff I'll take on the boat to do quickly, especially mackerel fishing. Okay, so jig heads, wire, they're the 2 I mainly use. Hooks. Everyone's got different sort of hooks they use. You got mustards, you got Shinto, you got BKK, you got Gamakatsu. There's so many different hooks on the market nowadays. But since BKK came out a few years ago, I've been using them. I love BKK. So my hook of choice, BKK. They keep their points. They're razor sharp. They're very strong. I haven't straightened one, ever. So if I'm live baiting offshore, I'm running BKKs. If I'm changing lures on my flathead lures or something, smaller ones, I'm still running BKK, okay? I just find these hooks are not the cheapest hook, but they are probably one of the sharpest hooks, and they are very strong. And when you're fishing, you don't really want to skimp on your hooks. That's a really important part of the fishing. You don't want a cheap hook that's going to straighten and lose you the fish of a lifetime. You don't want a cheap hook that's the barb or the point's going to fall off straight away and be blunt and miss a good strike from good fish. Hooks is one thing, guys, you should really spend a bit of money on. Definitely hooks. You want good hooks, good sharp strong hooks. And you don't want big thick heavy gauge things, you just want nice sharp thin gauge that's strong. So BKK is a really good hook. Not cheap, but good hook. It's definitely something I'd buy it, look at. And they do make them in long shanks and small for whiting fishing, bream fishing, up to marlin fishing. They make all sorts of hooks, so good brand. Next one, this is another important one too, and a lot of guys ask me a lot. When I'm fishing offshore, what sort of leader do I run? Do I run fluorocarbon offshore? And I'm going to say no, I don't. When I'm offshore fishing, when you're fishing 30 meters, 50 meters and beyond, I don't think fluorocarbon makes a difference. I fish with guys with fluorocarbon. I know a few guys are sitting here watching this now argue with me saying you do really well with fluorocarbon, and you might. But every time I fish with somebody offshore with fluorocarbon, I still kick their butt. It comes down to bait presentation and everything else and how you rig up. I don't think fluorocarbon makes that much of a difference offshore. Okay, the guys live baiting for marlin or jump up and down say it does. I don't know, man, 30 in a day. Sorry, that bores a bugger out of me. You go out there, take a couple of guys out, you want to catch 2 or 3 fish, have a bit of fun, and leave. So just normal leader's fine. You don't need fluorocarbon. I'm not fishing comps and everything else. And my leader of choice, I've gone back to Tiagra. You guys have seen me use a few different ones in a few different videos, which is fine. I always try different things. And I was hooked on Black Magic for a while, but lately I've lost some big fish on Black Magic. It's broken on me. So, yeah, gone. Not happy with that. So I'll go back to good old Tiagra. Okay, it's not a fluorocarbon, but it's got a nice coating on it, so it just takes a bit of abrasion. Okay, it's not going to break straight away. This is 80 pounds, so it's not exactly a thick 80. It's got a harder coating on it, and I haven't broken this stuff, so I actually don't mind the Tiagra line, especially for offshore when I'm live baiting. I'll go down to like 20 or 30 pounds, 40 pound if I'm chasing big snapper with big baits. And then I'll live bait for cobia and Jews and stuff with this, or even make me bottom bash and rigs out wide. The Tiagra line, I've got no problem with. That's alright. Black Magic, I'm over it. I've lost too many fish on it. Okay, well, I know we're getting through this fairly quick. It's just a quick, easy video. When I'm inshore, this is different. When I'm inshore fishing, I'm fishing shallow water, very shallow water, and usually it's quite clean. So I am using fluorocarbon. Okay, guys. So when I'm in chasing flathead, you guys know I like chasing flathead. When I'm chasing flathead, I am running fluorocarbon in very shallow, clear water. I think it does make a difference there. But offshore, yeah, not so much. And plus, I'm fishing a lot at night time, so it's not going to make any difference at all. But when I'm fishing daytime, shallow water, I'm running fluorocarbon. And once again, you've seen me use a few different types over the years, and I'll be honest, most of it works. But my 2 favourite choice, I'm using FC Rock, and I don't mind the Nitlon too. These 2 are probably my 2 favourites, especially when I'm running like 16 to 20 pound heavy leader, chasing a big flathead with big lures. I don't mind the FC and the Nitlon. At the moment I've got here, I think this is 16 pound in Nitlon, so that's my heavy one, and that's 8 pound. When I'm chasing, fish are a bit finicky and flighty, I'll go down to 8 pounds and cast plastics just to try and get a few numbers on the board. But if I'm chasing big fish with the big lures, that's 16 and Nitlon. They're my 2, and fluorocarbon I think is a must in shallow water. I think it does help. Okay. So that's basically my go-to gear, brands. Oh, sorry guys, jig heads. When I'm running jig heads, doesn't have to be green. I prefer pink over green, but I couldn't find any in a packet. So, TT lures. I like my TTs. I know there's a new dial, the new dial one's out, and they look alright, but I don't know. I'm just used to TTs. They work really well for me, so I just use TT jig heads. They seem to work, and they're either not coloured or usually the ones I'm running are pink. But like I said, I didn't have any pink ones in the box, so pink or green, but pink's my main colour. And another thing, sometimes when you can't find the brands don't make the hooks or something you're after, like, you know, you guys know I chase pike at night time for baits offshore, and I use little gang hooks for pike, putting strips of pillies and stuff on for catch pike. BKK doesn't do them, and plus I don't think I'd use BKK and spend a fortune for catching pike. So when you just bait fishing or want to gather a few baits, like this is a shore catch, these are a cheap gang hooks, they're fine, they'll catch a few baits for you. And if you lose them, or they go blunt after a few fish, big deal, they're a couple of dollars. It's not going to matter. But I'll go down the cheaper hooks if I'm chasing bait. But for the big proper fish, I'll use BKKs. One other thing some guy asked me is what I always take on a trip. So just to finish this off, what's always in my bag, guys? Always in my bag is a brag mat, okay? Always got a brag mat in the bag. I don't know what that one is. Somebody gave me that one. I think it's a sport fishing club or something. But, okay. So good old brag mat is always in my bag. Decent pair of lip grips is a must for all different species. It really does make life easier. So get yourself a decent pair of lip grips. Okay. A a good quality knife. I've still got the old buck knife. I've had this thing for years. I love me buck knife. Keeps a good edge. Does a good fillet. I've had that for years. The old bucks. I don't even see these things around anymore. I wonder if they still make them. I think they do. Get yourself a good quality knife, and only use it for filleting. Don't use it for cutting and stuff. That's what the scissors are for, okay? Always got a decent pair of scissors in the bag to cut lines, braids, okay? D-hooker. I can't remember what brand this is, but I've had this thing for I don't know how many years, guys. This has been a ripper. This has got hooks out of every fish. Just a decent little D-hooker. This is a cracker to get lures and hooks out. So D-hooker, scissors, knife, lip grips, and a brag mat. That's the things that's always in my bag. Oh, and a sharpening stone for the knife. I always use stones for my knives. I was taught how to use a stone at an early age, so we use the stones. Anyway, guys, I think that's pretty much it. Because I know I do a lot of talking. You guys know my fishing gear, my rods and reels. You've seen them a lot. But this is just the brands I mainly use. So what I've got here, and I just showed you, we pretty much make up all rigs I use and low bait rigs and stuff for offshore and inshore. Yeah, this is just what I use, guys, personally use. You might have something different, or you might want to tell me in the comments what you use, which is fine, it's all good. But yeah, I just found these over the years. These are just good hooks, good leaders, good bait jigs, everything else. Oh, and one very last thing. People ask me how I change the hooks on small lures because they use pliers and pliers are too big, too hard. You can get these little tweezers. Wilson make these little tweezers. You can see it's just like a tweezer, okay? It's got your little notch on the end. These things are about, I don't know, 10 bucks in most stores. Little tweezers. These things are awesome for getting your rings on and off and your hooks on and off on small lures like trout lures and flathead lures and things. Small lures, small rings. Just these little tweezers. Don't worry about pliers. Just grab yourself a pair of these little tweezers for 10 bucks, and you'll have no problem in the world changing small hooks on small split rings on small lures. Okay. These are also in my bag and a go-to, especially my flathead box. These things are awesome. They're very easy to use. Okay. And that's it. No more surprises. Anyway, guys, I hope that helps you out. Yeah, and I'm going to say good luck on your next trip, and don't skimp on the hooks. Buy good quality sharp hooks. You don't want to lose that fish of a lifetime. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you again next week. See you then, guys. Bye.